welcome to the Fit Show. I'm IFBB Pro Rusty Jeffers, and we're here at Milos's Coliseum Gym in Fullerton, California. Today, we're gonna do chest, so let's get started. All right, you gotta warm up before you do any body part. So what I like to do for chest is I warm up the shoulder joint. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries. My rotator cuffs have been reconstructed and put back together again and all that. And every time I get into chest, I start doing these first before I really get into the chest move. Seems to help. What you want to do is you really want to squeeze the back part of the movement. Might help you even get a few extra cuts in that rear delt. All right, let's bench. And this is my training partner and wife, Francie. She's gonna be spotting me today. I like to do the old Bill Pearl 5 sets of 5. Supersetted with a heavy barbell pullover. This involves a lot more muscle groups than just the chest, all the supporting muscle groups. The best torsos in the world do pullovers. And if you hook your heel on the end, that way you won't go flying off the bench like I've seen a couple people do before. All right, set number 1. I also like to keep the bicep tendon warm, and this is my favorite bicep move. All right, set number 1. All right, the question has been posed to me, what about the placement of your hands on the bench? Wherever you're the strongest, that's where you should be, okay? I'm strongest with a medium grip. Straight into the pullover. All right, the reason you do it with a barbell, because most gyms don't have dumbbells that go over 200 or so pounds. And this way you can get well over 200 pounds on a pullover. Woo, that was refreshing. With the pullover exercise, you're trying to hit as many muscle groups as possible. So you're actually hitting lats, front delts, rear delts, chest, anything having to do with the upper body. Even your triceps and biceps gets worked from this exercise. But mainly you're trying to incorporate what you're doing here, what you're doing here. It all ties your upper torso together. And one other little known fact, the pullover actually was an exercise that dictated what your bench would be back in the olden days before they had the bench press. Because you couldn't pull over more than you could bench press. So there were guys out there that could do pullovers with 400 or 500 pounds. All right, last set. Woohoo! Felt that one. Also, back to the old Bill Pearl. He actually had a brother who people say was built better than he was. Put that one in your coconut. Whew. And again with a bicep tendon, one of my surgeons told me that if I keep my bicep tendon warm, I shouldn't have any more shoulder problems. So all through my chest routines, I keep my biceps nice and warm so that bicep tendon that goes right through the middle of your shoulder stays nice and lubed up the whole time. Okay, that wraps up part 1 of the chest routine with Rusty Jeffers. Tune in next week for the conclusion right here on The Fit Show.
Hello everyone and welcome to The Fit Show. I'm Alexis Ellis, I'm an IFBB Pro.
I'm Tanya Dover.
And I'm David Ellis.
And here we are again today cooking something new and exciting. We're gonna make a tuna salad pita. And what's great about it is that we can make it a lot of different ways, but more than anything, we're gonna concentrate on the tuna and how to make tuna exciting and fun, because tuna, most of the time, is not something that we associate with any kind of great flavor or anything that is filling or something that we like to eat on a daily basis. But if you make it this way, you would enjoy eating it, and it's a great thing to eat during contests and off season as well, because it is a fish and it'll give you variation to a lot of different fishes. So it's something quick and easy, and you don't need a stove. So why doesn't David get us started on talking about the ingredients?
Well, once again, here at Gourmet Fitness Food, we always have our own little spin on everything. So I try to always take a relatively either unhealthy dish and make it healthy, or take a relatively boring dish and add some fire and excitement to it. So what Tanya's going to do right here is she's going to take, now I have two kinds of tunas, because I know people have different preferences. We have the Bumblebee Solid albacore white meat tuna, as that's one way of putting it. And then I have like the regular old chicken of the sea chunk light tuna. And the thing about this one, the chunk light, the reason why I like it, even though it's not all white meat, is it's less sodium, a little less sodium. You can get the white meat with less sodium, and the white meat is a lot healthier and higher in protein. But the problem with the white meat, it is very dry and very bland. So
yeah,
you
this
might
one
mix them if you
actually
like.
says 50% less sodium. It's an actual brand that comes with less sodium. So you'll find the chunk light tuna in water, and then you'll find the chunk light tuna in water, 50% less sodium. So why don't you look for this one out in your local supermarket, because it's something you can find.
So how much mayonnaise did you put, non-fat mayonnaise, did you put in the tuna?
I use about
Tablespoon?
a rounded tablespoon, you
Right.
know.
And we
good sized
have the Best Foods Light. Actually, most of the time I use the non-fat, but this is one. And you can also go to your health food store and get a non-fat healthy food version of mayonnaise, or not use any mayonnaise at all if you really want to go Rambo style. But this adds just a little bit of flavor and consistency to it.
Yeah, it just keeps it moist, because as we know, we were talking about the tunas and there being a white tuna in here in the sense that the white tuna is really great for contests. It's somewhat dry. I do have to agree with that, but it's definitely something that it has less fat in it, and it does have a less sodium. So it's adding the mayonnaise will give it a nice moisture and be able to make it very tasteful.
So next you're going to put the pineapple in. Now, be careful when you open those up. I've almost sliced off my finger, and fingers in the tuna, that's not a tasty thing. We want to keep our tuna finger free. So what she's actually going to do is, this is the dough, pineapple slices, 100% pineapple juice, no sugar added. So she's actually going to pour some of the juice in here, which is going to add some flavor, but more importantly, add some pineapple juice. Pineapples are important. Pineapples have bromelain in them, which is a digestive enzyme, which is very important, which helps you digest your food. So it's a good thing to combine the pineapple and the pineapple juice with the tuna, in addition to adding flavor to it. Helps digest it easier on your system. She's cutting the pineapples in little bitty pieces. Now, how much pineapple, you might ask? How much are you going to put in today?
With this, I'll probably put about 3 full ring slices.
2 cans of tuna. Each can is 6 ounces. So there's 12 ounces of tuna in the container. She's going to put 3 pineapple slices in it, and she just poured a little bit of the sauce in it. So be careful when you're trying to get that out, and please do not cut yourselves when doing this. I do not want to hear about anybody hurting themselves making one of my dishes.
So let's talk a little bit more about the tuna and why you chose 1 can of white meat and 1 can of dark meat.
Well, simply put, a little variety. The white meat is dry, the dark meat has moisture. Dark meat chicken is no different than dark meat tuna. Anything that is a dark meat means it has more blood vessels in it. That's what's causing the color, which means you're going to have a juicier flavor because it has more blood in it. Anything that's white meat has less capillaries, less of a rich blood supply, and it's going to be devoid of that reddish, brownish color. So that is why one is white and one is dark.
But you could make this with either or.
Right.
And
so,
the flavor.
Yeah, you can use all of one, all of another, or you combine them both. So it's a matter of personal preference. I like the dark meat better, and I like dark meat chicken better. So it's just a personal.
And I think a lot of people do, because it's honestly, it has this flavor. Everyone talks about, the dark meat has a lot of flavor. But as competitors or as people that work out and are always looking for high protein, low calorie, low fat, we're looking for the healthiest version. I would say the healthiest version to go with is the white meat. So you try it out with all white meat, see what you like, and if not, then you could do a combo, and then that'll be a little bit of a variation for you, because it will definitely give you a little bit more flavor.
So she's already added 3 things. She added a couple of dashes of lemon pepper, give it a little lemon peppery taste, flavor, a little bit of spike to give it a little more flavor, and just a couple dashes of spike. She's going to take a lemon, an actual whole lemon, cut it open and squeeze lemon juice in it to give it even a little more lemony flavor. It's no different than putting lemon on some fish that you bake in the oven. Lemon just tastes good on fish. It gives it a little more flavor and helps further get rid of that horrible fishy taste. She also added almond slivers. You can also put walnuts in it, personal preference. I personally like the walnuts. The almonds are healthier. The walnuts taste better. Healthy fats. They're both healthy fats, but almonds are healthier fat. Just remember that. And we probably put a handful of almond slivers in it. Almond slivers, not whole almonds, so you chip a tooth. Almond slivers. I want you guys to keep all your teeth.
So I look at this lemon pepper, once again, is giving flavor, because this is a meat. This is a protein. So I'm going right back to my flavors. And talking about how we want to flavor the tuna, even though it's something that is not, that we're not baking it, it's still something that has a very strong taste, and being a fishy taste. And how do we get rid of that fishy taste so it's something that's very edible and very delicious? So the lemon pepper and the actual lemon adds that citrusy flavor that we like to put on on any kind of fish or seafood. We love that type of stuff. I think most of us squeeze a lemon on most of our seafood dishes. So that is where the lemon comes in, and the lemon pepper is just a little bit of added seasoning, and has some pepper in it as well. No MSG, which is really great, very low in sodium. And then the spike as well is an all-purpose natural seasoning, and it has some sodium in it, but it also gives it a little bit of a kick and a little bit of a spike, and that's why it's called spike.
Also, we normally, and when I say normally, 99% of the time, I'll take a whole apple and I'll cut it up in little pieces and I'll add the apple in it. I didn't do it this time just because you don't have to put it in, but I personally love to add the apple with the almonds. I like that contrast and flavor in the actual tuna. You'll love it. So just take a regular red delicious apple, cut it up in little tiny pieces, and throw it in there. Probably, based on 2 cans, you can use a half an apple. If you had 4 cans, you would use a whole apple. So you know how much of the apple to use. So what she's doing now, she's doing the pita salad part. So this is the tuna part, which is done. And you can use that tuna for the pita salad. You can use that tuna for a tuna salad. You can eat the tuna right out of the bowl, as I often end up doing.
I usually do that when I'm on a low-carb diet. I don't have a pita at all. I could have it on top of a salad if I wanted some extra roughage, or just, eat, some tuna. And what's great about this is that the texture is really nice. We talked about the added walnuts and the crunchy apple, and then we have a nice juicy pineapple. Think about all that juiciness and crunchiness. All those different textures make this what seems like a simple dish really exciting as soon as you put a spoonful in your mouth.
Pitas, any local grocery store, whole wheat pita. Now, there's also chapati bread, which is an alternative. There's lots of different types. I just don't want you eating white flour. So try to get a multigrain or a whole wheat pita bread. What she's doing now is she's putting lettuce and tomato inside of that. She also has some cucumber cut up and placed inside of it. And it's ready to go. Anything else to add to that?
We're gonna add the tuna.
You're gonna add the tuna. So now if you're gonna eat it immediately, you're gonna add the tuna inside. If you're gonna pack it up later, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the tuna on the side, and then you're gonna have the pita there, and then you'll put them together later. You don't want the tuna sitting in the pita, because what's gonna happen is the moisture is gonna make your bread all soggy, and nobody likes soggy pita bread. And there is the final product. You can put another one right there, and that's what it looks like when you're gonna eat it. You have your tuna pita salad. Very quick, very easy to make. You do not need an oven. You do not need a stove. This is something that you can make on the go, even if you don't even have a kitchen. So write all those things down. Take notice. Tuna pita salad, high in protein. You do get your roughage. You do get your fiber. It's a perfect little meal to have.
It's really easy to make, and you dressed up your pita with the lettuce, as you saw, and you have the tomatoes and the cucumbers, which made it a really pretty dish to look at and a tasty dish, as we talked about the texture, and we talked about how it's a high protein dish. And then, of course, you have the pita, which gives you your carbs, as we also talk. I like to talk about a balanced meal with, having it go into your system a certain way. So it's really nice to have, actually, the pita bread, which is balancing out the protein. And then, of course, we have, the fats from the almonds as well, and the walnuts.
So once again, thank you for coming in our kitchen and spending some time and learning how to make a few new items. We're going to be coming back, and keep those emails coming. And the more you email us, the more suggestions you give. We actually listen to that, and if enough people ask for the same thing, we'll come back and we'll make whatever you're asking for, and we'll make a healthy version of it. So this is
Tanya Dover.
And I'm David Ellis, and this is IFBB Figure Pro.
Alexis Ellis.
And we want to say thank you
for watching The Fit Show.
And of course, this brings another episode to a close. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to email us at feedback@thefitshow.com. Shoot us some tips, shoot us some questions, send us a photo, let us know you're out there, let us know you're watching, tell us what you think about it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.